back to Tabletop Thoughts. Today I thought I would do a quick look at my office where I do all of my different crafting and everything. We're starting off computer. Over in the one corner, here's my desk. As you can see, I have both of my slicers brought up. So I use Cura there on the left side for my Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro. That's my FDM printer. And on the right side is my Lychee. I have the Plus subscription, so I get all the extras and stuff like that. Alright. There's Sammy and Asteroid there. Over on the one side here, you can see I have some of these. I bought some of these Husky. I think I got this from Harbor Freight. But, you know, you can go get a bunch of different drawers. You keep everything from, like, I have small people. I bought these. I didn't realize they were like 15 millimeter size people. But you use them for halfling sometimes. Beads. I have everything labeled. You get a label maker. It helps. Ribbon. Toothpicks. I have a ton of toothpicks. Larger wire. This is like floor wire. That's really good if you're making your kit batches in your own monsters. 2-inch disc. This is where I buy. These are actual clear. Like here's one. I buy that so I could use those for miniatures if I wanted to. Print out my own and some of these. You can see I have those. Wooden disc work as well. Here's a bunch of wooden disc. I buy a whole bunch of those counters. I used to separate them out in like different colors. Now I'm just getting lazy. You get enough of them, you get tired of separating out all the different colors. Little stirring straws, always good. Little wooden blocks. Little cheap Jengos from the Dollar Tree. Got a bunch of those, even one I can't fit. I buy these shells. I believe I got these off Temu, but stick this in the corner over here where you can see, keep my different flockings, different flocking material on there. Grass tufts, grass flockings. Great around Christmas time. You can see this is $1 from, I think I got it from Dollar General. Mini trees. If you're running something like Frostgrave where you have a snowy condition, they're pre-frosted. If I use them for more generic ones, so all I'll do is take a green spray paint and paint over them. You can either use a rattle can or I use an airbrush and just paint over it. Never tell. Cups. Always need cheap cups. I use them for mixing paint, putting my wash and everything in. Different basing materials, clays, modeling paste, a whole bunch of glue, resin stuff. I haven't done a whole lot with resin. I'm going to have to get on that, make some more resin. I bought this years ago and labeled a lot, but that's where I keep like plants, different tape, my sandpaper. Some of my crafting materials is over there next to it. There's a whole bunch more in the basement and storage, but this is generally, if I need a piece, I can grab it out of here. When there's none in there, bring it up. Alright, here's my spare table on the side. A ton of miniatures. Still on the supports, I have to break off. A lot of these are for Hero Quest that I started painting. A few scrap pieces over here. All of my 3D printed miniatures. Most of these, all the supports are off. Some of them have been primed, some of them haven't. That's why I'm trying not to print anymore until I catch up some. More terrain, either trees, rocks, stuff like that. Cemetery gate. This is the prize I won for painting contest for the printing goes over on. They sent it to me. I still have to take a look at it and get it out of there and paint it. And my cleaning station. Over here, airbrush. I got a cheap one off of Amazon. I know everybody always talks about getting the best, but I'm like, when you first start off, you want to drop. You really don't want to spend $100 or $200 on a nice airbrush. I got that one for like 20 bucks off of eBay, and I've been using it for years. And for what I use it for, like priming miniatures, a zenithal highlight, perfectly fine. Hot wire, a handheld hot wire cutter, I have also in there is a little, it's kind of hard to see back there. It's a little stand for when I solder wires and that, it holds it. Drill press. I bought a cheap drill press and a cheap USB rechargeable, it's like a rotary tool, but it is a drill. I got them both off Temu. They said they're compatible. They weren't. So, being an engineer, I designed and 3D printed a collar so it holds it in there. Proxon. You have to have a Proxon. I bought the Shifting Lands guide for it, and I made a crappy, threw it together just to do circles. You can see there's a pin in it, and there's the up to 6 inches I could do. If I get a chance, I really was going to try to 3D print something to stick out there, because why not? Whole bunch of alcohol and cleaning solution. All the stuff over here is all my supplies for my 3D printers. And some random parts.
In the ruins of a forgotten temple, something watches from the shadows. Across the forest, ancient powers gather within the druid circle. Mix and match terrain and miniatures for limitless stories. Explore detailed terrain and creatures, all ready for your next game night. Bring your tabletop world to life. Shop DM David's Prints on Etsy today.
Alright, here is my messy desk where I do my crafting. On the one side, here's like foam blocks, foam pieces. All of these are paintbrushes. Look at them all. I buy them in bulk. I keep cleaning them and stuff like that, but after a while they wear out. So you could buy them, get them dirt cheap. I got hundreds of them. They come. I got flat, about a 1/4 inch wide flat ones, and then just the pointy ones. Pointy ones are for painting miniatures. Normally I use the flat ones for if I do stonework and that, where you have flat bricks. They're about the same width I use for a brick, so that's perfect. Just random plastic bits. Poker chips. Halloween comes around, all those little skeletons, crap stuff. You buy it, it's $1. You pick up a bunch of that. There's some HeroClick models in there that are going to get converted. Dice and just junk. Here's stamps for letters. Never used them, but it was on sale somewhere. Just dice. I have probably 100 pounds of dice. Cards for all the different games I bought, like Hero Quest and Zombicide, Black Plague. What else is in there? Yeah, all those different games. More rings and different stuff like that. Oh, underneath my desk, I have bins full of hot glue guns are down there, all the glue for them, a bunch more plastic pieces, the real thin sheets of EVA foam. Gotta have a heat gun. Napkins, I keep napkins in a bin right here. Gotta have microfiber cloths for wiping everything down, but yeah. Elegoo Saturn 3, Elegoo Mars 3, and there's the Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro. Printing out a whistle for my daughter. She wanted a whistle, I don't know, for kids or something. Up above are all the benches I've ever printed with all the materials. Every time I get a new type of filament, I've been sticking with black from, I think I buy it off Amazon, but I believe it's Elegoo filament. It is Elegoo filament. There's one of them. So I'm not sponsored by Elegoo, but hey, if they want to send me a printer or something like that, I love their stuff. But every time I got a different color or anything, print it out just to make sure that the settings I have are okay. Yeah, when I first moved in this house, I actually built that shelf. There's some other things, just collectibles up there. On the back side of my desk, another plastic bins, all labeled for like paper cutters and nail files and little nails and sponges and everything. Markers, black wash, some stuff I have. I have a bin with all my little things I need for minis. Some more silicone pop mats, always good. All my little tools, stuff like that. Here's a project that I'm working on right now. I'm making my own little dungeon tiles. They're all going to be 2x2. Let me turn some lights over here so we can see. But they're all 2x2. Trying to get a nice naturalistic looking stone texture on it. They still need a dry brushing with a white. But that's just the colors, and then once they get their dry brushing, they look kind of like that, which doesn't look too bad. You can see all the texture and everything on them. Going back over here, you'll see Master's brush cleaner. I got that. I also use you get bars of soap at the dollar store for $1, like Zest and everything like that. I use that too. It's a soap. As long as it's a soap, it'll work. A 3D printed little thing that has all my Q-tips in it. Fidget poppers everywhere. Something I've been working on. My own little dry brush. When you're dry brushing to get the extra paint off there, I print these out with my little icon and everything like that for the channel. But gotta have LED lights. There's the stand for when I'm painting, looking down, so it holds the phone. Because I use my phone to film. Shrine of Orcus, Fat Dragon Games. I love their stuff. This is the third one I printed, so I think this one is going to end up on eBay or something like that, because I don't need 3 of them. Whole bunch of snake people, also from Fat Dragon Games. Handles from Fat Dragon Games. You can print out your own paint handles. Here's all my regular craft paint. I got these acrylic, I think they're for fingernail polish, but they were great. So I got those off eBay. I think they're like 20, 25 bucks a piece. Nice. If you move over here, those are standard miniature paints. Over there is my speed paints with some other miniature paints. Washers up on the top. And this last one is full of India inks. I love using Indian inks. And then there's some, my spray primers, or I just actually brush it on half the time. Stuff like that. As you can see, quite a few things going on. Like I said, he's going on eBay. These are going to go into the Etsy store. I think these I'm just going to throw into the... I give away a free miniature with every order. Most of the time I put like 2 or 3 in there because I have tons of stuff. So just like a little bush, I'll dry brush them up, maybe give them a paint job, throw them in there to sell. Well, they'll be the freebies. Another campsite set from Fat Dragon Games. Kind of nice if you're having, your parties bunking down for the night. You have a random encounter happens, You could actually throw out the tents, a couple of bedrolls, and have a scene right there with miniatures. More miniatures in process. Paints all over the place. A couple of these are from Bright Minis. These are the Basilisk. I normally print these out whenever I start getting low on a roll because they don't use much filament. And I painted one up on the channel. If I think about it, I'll put a card up in the corner. But yeah, I throw these into the freebies and at this point. Chimera. There's a Wyvern. It's not as nice as it could be. I'm tweaking my settings for my FDM printer a little bit, and this one's still a little stringy and still has a little extra blobs on it, so a little more work on it. But that is it. That is the general layout of where I sit and do all my crafting. As you see, I have plenty of plastic pieces all around me. Oh, something I almost forgot. Right next to me, I got one of these mobile carts that on the bottom I have like pastel chalks. Really nice if you grind them up a little bit. You just flick them off. I use my X-Acto knife and just scrape it caustic to get a little bit of dust. You can have dust that you can use on your terrain pieces to add a little more texture to it. White paper plates, I use those for my palette. If I'm dry brushing, you put a little bit of paint on it, and then you can just dip your brush into paint and just wipe it all over the plate, and that'll suck the extra paint off. you know, snippers, scissors, pliers, all my different big things of paint. There's my extra eyes, and my wife calls them, because I need that for seeing small details on miniatures. Eileen's tacky glue, always got to have some of that. Just black paint, and then you got to have gray paint. Mod Podge. This is matte Mod Podge that you can see I put black into, so Black Magic Craft. Makeup sponges. Very good for if you want to sponge on paint and like little blobs in that. If you get those, the cells are really small on it, so it leaves like a patch of paint. If you use a bigger sponge, like something like this, you can see like the cells, the holes on it are larger, so it makes, if that's the different style you want, like you want big holes in the paint, stuff like that, you could use those. But if you want to put a patch on it, like I did on some of these, where I wanted a big patch of color on it, the makeup sponge does a better job. So, all right, well, that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out the next video right here. It's packed with more great content. And as always, keep on gaming.